Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. This one comes from Keys 2005, and in response to Korg T1 The Basics, a video I did in March 2023. And Keys writes, I have a Korg T1 and want to move about 10 sounds to my Kronos. Is that possible, or will I need to resample it? And it took me a while to actually respond to this question. And the reason why was because I was thinking about how would I do it if I was going to do it, because I haven't done it so far. And the reason why I haven't done it so far is because I have a Korg T1, and therefore I use it in a studio, and I don't necessarily need to move the sounds from it to my Kronos. But my initial thoughts were to try and use a tool like PGC Tools, which I know can read the sysx files from many of the Korg products going back over the years. So I thought to myself, well, probably be able to do it through that. But having looked at it and having looked at how the functions of the PGC system works, I realised that you can only copy files between compatible workstations. So what do I mean by that? So I mean, if you've got a sysx file that has Korg M1 patches in it, you can copy those to a Korg T1 patch set and then put that back on your T1 using PGC Tools. What you can't do is you can't take your Korg T1 patch set and move it to, say, a Triton, because the file structure is completely different and PGC Tools does not allow you to do that. So the similar argument is the same with trying to move files or sounds from the Korg T1 to the Kronos. So while the workflow of the two keyboards is very similar, Korg have managed to maintain that kind of workflow over the years, tweaking it as the models get more current. But in general terms, the workflow is still, and the kind of general concepts behind how the keyboard works are very much the same as the keyboards have progressed. The file structures and the way the wave structures are put together is different. So I think you might be able to separate the wave elements out and move those, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to move the patch without, well, I think it'll be a lot of work either way anyway, if I'm brutally honest. But that's kind of where I drew a conclusion that it might be easier to actually just resample the thing into the Kronos anyway, as opposed to just trying to move the original wave. But you might be able to do that, and it's something I haven't tried, but that was just my thoughts. Next comment or question comes from Nico Wendell. I'll leave it at that. And this was in response to the Korg Nautilus 80 Grey and Moog Shut Up Factory Shop, an SMR I did in July 2024. And Nico writes, in Europe, the prices of the grey Nautilus are the same as the black ones, probably a UK issue. Don't we always get screwed in the UK? It's one of the reasons actually why we were in the European Union. I used to buy from Thomann, because you used to get a really good price from Thomann. That's the honest truth. Thomann seems to be on the pulse of the European market, whereas many shops in the UK don't. I do use Anderton's as an exception. Anderton's tends to pass everything on straight away. Anyway, grey or black? I have a Triton Pro X, so I can't say it's an issue for me. Korg had released the grey versions of the Kronos 2. Did they? The issue for me is way less on colour of the workstation. The fact the Nautilus is a poor copy of the Kronos. Well, many people would agree on that one, including me. The same ultra outdated 32-bit OS. Don't get me started. The same old hardware. It takes 3 seconds to start up. Someone must tell Korg that we're in 2024 and not 1995, with some useless push-pull buttons without faders, without the faders of the Kronos, without endless knobs, without contextual leads labelling under buttons, without any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connections, with a smaller screen, etc, etc, etc. Could you imagine a company selling a diminished copy of 2012 computer, phone, car at the same price as a modern device? Well, this is exactly what Korg are doing. The Nautilus is an amputated and poor rendition of the 2011 Kronos period. It looks like a PA5 OS. The hardware actually might be the basis of a potential future Korg workstation, but the real workstations are becoming quite a niche, while arrangers, not my cup of tea, have become the big customer base. Keyboard players spend way more money on master keyboards and low-tech door peripherals, Waystation, Op6, and they are way cheaper to conceive and build, so bigger margin. In addition, the engineers who have been working on the T1, M1, Oasis and Kronos have basically all retired. So sadly, I don't think we're close to a real success for the Kronos. The grey colour is just a marketing way for Korg to milk the musicians who have loved Korg at its prime when it was good and innovative. I can't say that. An innovative brand. Well, pretty much. Thanks for your thoughts on the Nautilus Grey. All I can say is interesting to hear that Europe has harmonised the prices. I haven't looked at the moment whether the grey and the black are harmonised, but definitely at the point of writing this reply, they weren't. They were about £500 different. So of course England is behind the curve, because can't they screw us jolly Brits? There's quite a big movement about how we get screwed in this country on one thing or another. So, but we have a new government, and they're going to screw us even more.